You're listening to the AppleVis podcast.
Hello, AppleVis. Welcome to another podcast, which I'm doing on a rainy day because why not? I think that it needs to be done. So without further ado, here is a podcast about LaunchBar. So what is LaunchBar? It is a program for the Mac which costs about $35 normally. You can get a 30-day trial from the Objective Development website, which I cannot remember off the top of my head, but if you look for either LaunchBar or Objective Development on Google, or the AppleVis app directory entry, which I'm planning to write for the second time after recording this podcast, and you should be able to find it. It's also obviously a Mac update. Just beware, Mac update has recently been putting adware in their installers. So yeah, that's a little bit of info about what LaunchBar is. It's a bar at the top of the screen. It looks like a tiny bar in which you interact with pretty much exclusively with the keyboard. It's really optimized for keyboard. You can drag things into it. Of course, there are other ways to accomplish that dragging thing with the keyboard, and it is designed to quickly get things done and get you to a place where you need to be, where that is launching an application or starting an email message or launching a file, maybe finding information about a contact, or if you install user-created actions, then you can also convert currencies, check the time and places, and other things. I'm going to show you a little bit of each, I think. It also is helped by the pretty good accessibility of LaunchBar, which I think in some parts may be a little easier to use in Spotlight, and also that it has a really impressive abbreviation engine, which is really, really, really helpful, and is one of the things that makes it stand out from Spotlight. So from anywhere on the screen, anywhere you are on the Mac, you bring up LaunchBar with a hotkey. This hotkey you assign the first time you launch the program. You're going to get a quick start wizard, and one of the things it will ask you is for the hotkey you want. It normally suggests command space, which is actually a good option if you first go into the system preferences and unbind the key for Spotlight. You can reassign it. LaunchBar also gives you its own hotkey search for Spotlight, which you may sometimes still want to do, either using the Spotlight interface or the search Spotlight action that someone has made for LaunchBar itself, which will let you use its interface instead. You can also assign a different hotkey to it. For example, control space might work, or really anything else you can think of, it will all work. Right, so I'm going to bring LaunchBar up right now, so I'm going to press command space. I'm currently sitting inside my recording program.
Application, action menu button.
It opens up, it says action menu. At the moment, I have set it up so that the dock icon is hidden. When you first install it, there's going to be the LaunchBar icon on the bottom of your dock, and also it's going to show up in the command tab application switcher. So your voiceover might say something slightly different, might say you're in the LaunchBar window. Because mine is set to hide, it comes up as a floating system dialog type of thing. So this is why it says application. So if I move left and right with the voiceover keys,
action menu button, LaunchBar menu button.
We only really have two things, action menu and LaunchBar menu. You might think that this is all there is, but actually you also have the actual LaunchBar itself, which is just, a list, which may have columns running off of it to the right if you expand something, as well as probably something at the top that shows the thing you have last typed. This is not something you'll see VoiceOver. Moving down and up the results list in LaunchBar is done exclusively with the arrow keys. So at this point, I'll have to say that you probably want your QuickNav off, because you cannot actually use the voiceover navigation keys to move the LaunchBar cursor. However, if I use the up and down arrow keys,
Xcode overview, editing your files, HTML text, Yosemite 10.10.2 Wi-Fi and Bluetooth finally solved, no really, IHELTHGEK, web bookmark, audio games, your resource for audio games, games for the blind, games for the visually impaired, web bookmark.
I'm seeing a lot of different hits for the last thing I searched. For anyone curious, that in this case happened to be AP to get to Amadeus Pro. One thing you don't really need to worry about in LaunchBar is backspacing out the last thing you've searched for. So at the moment it's displaying my search results for AP. Now suppose I wanted to launch Yorufukuru or Night Owl or whatever you want to call it, the pretty much only accessible Twitter client on the Mac. I can do that by quickly typing in YF.
Yorufukuru application.
And it immediately finds it. As you can see, VoiceOver announces that it has found Yorufuku application. You can now press enter to launch this application, and that will make LaunchBar go away.
Amadeus Pro, Night Owl, Timeline, Bittermock, 100, 100, 190, 109, 165 rows added.
The application is loaded. It's now showing my tweets. We don't need to look at it. Close it out with Command Q. So that is one thing you can do. Some applications also will allow you to see the last couple of documents you have opened inside them. For example, the aforementioned Amadeus Pro, which is what I'm using to record, or maybe text edit, or I don't know, Pages, GarageBand, anything that you can open files in is most likely going to show you recent documents. That is a good point to show you the power of LaunchBar and its inspect feature. So if I type in TE now to get to text edit.
Text edit application contains 7 recent documents.
This contains 7 recent documents. I could press enter at this point, and again, it would just get taken into text edit. Or I can press right arrow to start exploring inside of text edit.
Repositorium Matter 2015, plain text document.
Now I'm seeing all the plain text documents.
Changing a place to live, rich text document. Neurologa, rich text document. Prosa Poetica Bruno Zorka, rich text document.
This is various class notes I have been writing at school.
Mloda Polska, Microsoft Word 97 2004 document.
These are all things that I was opening.
Rich text document. Srodzi and Notatki Natalie, rich text document with attachment.
You can actually continue going down further.
W0EP1_final, rich text document.
These
7
recent documents, although it does show those before.
W0EP1_final, Neurologa,
Let's
changing the place to live, rich text document.
I wanted to look at this file. I could press enter at this point, which I will do.
Now in changing a place to live.rtf window, edit text insertion at beginning of text. Lecture October 11,
and as you can see,
ZB, Z4SCR28, CFQW1SCR29, 10.
It actually opens that file already in text edit. Let's close that out here.
Amadeus Pro.
If I bring LaunchBar back with my shortcut key.
Changing a place to live, rich text document.
The focus is actually staying in the last place it was, so we're still looking at the recent files of text edit. If I hit left arrow,
text edit application contains 7 recent documents.
Go back to text edit. If I went left again, I think we would go into the applications indexing rule. But let's go back to this file.
Changing a place to live, rich text document.
Because that right arrow thing that allows you to inspect things, you can use it just about anywhere. If I press it again,
47 lines, 284 words, text.
It's showing us statistics for this particular file. So it's 47 lines long, 200 words.
Changing the place to live.rtf, text.
I'm pressing down arrow here.
/documents/school/Angielski/changing a place to live.rtf, text. Monday, the 9th of November, 2015, 2035, text. Yesterday, 11:44, text.
Showing the date modified and
2 kilobytes, text.
File size, a lot of these
text
parameters.
Files, category, contains 1231 items.
Then at the bottom, we see a text files category, so I can look through all of my text files. I can press the right arrow on this to explore that, as usual.
Rich text documents, category, contains 841. Rich text documents, text 2, yes, Monday the 9th, /doc, change 47 lines, 284
I
words,
can
text.
press Command C on any of these to copy them out, like if I wanted to copy the path to this file. Or I can just act on the file itself.
Changing the place to live, rich text document.
So I hit left arrow back again here to go back to the recent text edit documents. What I can now do is hit Command C to copy.
Changing the place to live, rich text document.
So that has now been copied. Now this file is in my clipboard. So I could actually go into Finder,
desktop, Macintosh HD volume,
and for example paste it on my desktop if I really wanted to look at it again.
Paste item. Changing the place to live.rtf, rich text document.
And now that's now on my desktop. I'm going to get rid of it.
Move to empty trash.
Because we don't need this file on my desktop. However, if you want to send files
application action menu button
to another place, LaunchBar has a feature called the send to feature. So,
changing the place to live, rich text document.
Back on this file, I'm going to now press tab.
Mail application.
What happened? Well, it has now brought up. We're still in the LaunchBar window, but now we're selecting a target for this file. So at the top, it will show us programs that would be more than happy to take this file. So mail is the first result.
Text edit application.
Text edit also makes a lot of sense because we could send it to text edit, which would cause the file to be open inside of it.
Byword application contains 2 recent
Byword, which is the markdown / rich text editor.
Ghost Reader Plus application.
Ghost Reader is another app that could potentially open this.
Narrator application contains 1 recent document.
There's another one that can open it. However, I can, as usual with LaunchBar, use the search feature and start typing. Now, I don't necessarily have to look for a program. I could, for example, send it to the email address of a contact, which would allow me to email this file. It would open a new email message, which would have the subject empty, but it would pre-fill the body with the attachment and the to field. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's find someone who could potentially receive this file and get some use out of it. Really doesn't matter who we look for here. I could even look for myself, actually. Let's do that. So I'm going to type in PIOTR, which is my name.
Piotr Makash Renaissance, rich text document. Piotr Makash list March 3rd, 2015, rich text document.
Oh, I could actually send this to a file as well. If I do that, then it's going to append the contents of that first file, changing a place to live, to the end of that rich text file that we have here. But I
Piotr Makash Nimiaki Capital 11. Piotr Makash Sprotsian.
And I should have
Piotr Makash
personal contact for myself here. It's having issues finding it, but that gives us another opportunity to show you that you can actually restrict your search. LaunchBar has multiple indexing rules that you can configure, one of which I have added myself, which is why we're seeing all these random rich text files, which is checking through my documents folder. It has indexing rules for contacts, for calendar events, for Safari bookmarks, for some third-party applications like 1Password, passwords, or transmit favorites. It also has rules for contacts. You can perform what's called a sub-search on a rule. So if I type in contacts, or CONT actually.
Contacts, indexing rule, contains 72 items.
Contacts, it says is indexing rule. If I press right arrow.
Contact groups, category, contains 4 items. Companies, category, contains 5 items. Job titles, category, contains 1 item. Email addresses, category, contains 68 items. Previous recipients, category, contains 48 items.
We have multiple
phone
categories.
Numbers, category, contains 56 items.
So I can look for people that only have a phone number to, for example, send it to FaceTime to make a call. But I'm going to look for people who have an email address. Now, at this point, however, I can already start typing. And because we're looking at the contacts rule, the first results we're going to see are only contacts. That's called that's what LaunchBar calls a sub-search. So if I search for my name again,
Piotr Makash's personal contact contains 6 details, 5 sub-search matches in total.
It says 5 sub-search matches in total, which means that it has found 5 contacts that match this criteria.
Joanna Pizio, personal contact, contains 1 detail.
It does have PIO in it. This is probably why it found it. But let's go back to my name here.
Piotr Makash's personal contact contains 6 details.
Once again, I can hit right arrow to expand this.
Piotr Makash's text. Piotr Makash's email address. Piotr Makash's phone number.
We have email addresses. We have phone numbers.
Piotr Makash's Facebook profile.
Facebook profile.
Piotr Makash's screen name.
Screen name.
Piotr Makash's postal address. Piotr Makash's URL. Piotr Makash's birthday.
And I can actually expand this even further. If I wanted to look at someone's birthday, I can press right arrow again.
The 25th of March 1996. Text. Age 19. Text. Piotr Makash's personal contact contains 6
If
details.
anyone actually needed to know that, they now
Piotr
have
Makash's text.
the ability
Piotr
to do
Makash's
that.
email address.
But we want to find my email address. We're still having this file in the send to. So if I press enter on my email address,
Mail is launched in the background.
mail is launched in the background. I'm not sure why it didn't take focus, but we're going to switch to it.
Mail, new message, window. Piotr Makash attached text, content selected, 2, edit text,
So
has
the
keyboard
to
focus.
field is pre-filled.
2, CC, subject, edit text.
Subject is blank.
Edit text insertion at beginning of text.
And what do we have in the message body?
Changing the place to live.rtf.
We have this file, which happens to already be attached to it. So I could just send this email off. I could type more into the body if I wanted to, like, hey, please check this out. It's really boring, but you should check it out anyway. Hi, take care, and
Close
we
window.
could be done
Interact
with it.
with
Let's close this email message out. We don't
Messages.
need it. We don't even need mail to begin with.
Quit
So
net
let's
finder.
close that out completely as well.
Application.
So
Action
that is the
button.
send to feature. You can send things to multiple places. You can send them to email. You can send it to FaceTime to make a call. You can send it to custom actions. So for example, someone has created an action which would allow you to send something to Pastebin. Pastebin is basically like a public clipboard. You can copy some text into it, and it will give you a link which will expire after so often. But this will be one way to quickly send something off to Pastebin. I'm going to show you how to access the clipboard in a minute, because one of the other things LaunchBar does is a clipboard history, which can actually be quite useful. So I wouldn't necessarily have to send this to mail. I could even send it to another folder, actually. So if I go back to this file,
Change reaction, application. Changing the place to live, rich text document.
I can once again hit tab to send it.
Mail, application.
And then I can look for
Mail,
my my English folder, for example,
Changing the place to live, Rich Angelski folder, contains 130 items.
because it's actually English homework. Well, it's not homework, class notes. If I press enter on this, because we're still sending that RTF file.
Move to Angelski action.
Move to.
Copy to Angelski action.
Copy to action.
Make alias action. Make hard link action. Make symbolic link abs. Make symbolic link relative action. Make alias action. Copy to Angelski action.
I could say copy it.
Changing the place to live. Rich text document.
And now it basically made a copy of that file because it's already been there. Here's another kind of cool thing you can do, which will be quite useful if you need, if you do this quite often. If you talk to sighted people or even blind people, you're one of those people who likes to express themselves a lot, like smileys and stuff. LaunchBar has a very simple way of allowing you to insert emoji.
Text edit application.
So let's go back into text edit here for a moment.
Finder, Macintosh HD, text edit, open window, list view,
Start a new
file,
file,
untitled window, edit text.
And we want to say, I am demoing LaunchBar. I really like this app, and I want to put in a face with tears of joy, which would be one way to express that you like something a lot. Doing this with the built-in OS X character palette is doable, but a bit slow. Now, just to give you an example, I'm going to do that for us using the character palette. So you press Command Control Space.
Emote character palette, system, search text field.
Now you need to type in joy in here. Now we need to stop interacting with the search field because,
switch to large, switch,
as you can see, you won't really be able to move past it
stop interacting
otherwise.
with joy.
And you need to go right a couple
search
of
results
times.
empty grid.
Past this.
Search results grid.
Interact with this one.
Interact with search results grid. 0 items selected. 1 row, 8 columns. Face with tears of joy. 105.
And there it is. Press VO space.
Confirm. Text edit. Untitled.rtf window. Edit text insertion at end of text. I am demoing LaunchBar. I really like this app. Face with tears of joy.
And we have managed to insert that emoji. With LaunchBar, this is a lot simpler.
Face with tears of joy.
Because LaunchBar does actually have a emoji rule. So if I command space,
application,
I can say emoji space joy.
Face with tears of joy. Emoji. 3 sub search matches in total.
And there's more results.
Joystick. Emoji.
Joystick.
Cat face with tears of joy. Emoji.
So I press enter on this one.
Paste.
And we're back in text edit.
End of text. I am demoing LaunchBar. I really like this app. Laughing with tears. Cat face.
And it managed to insert it. So this is a lot faster than actually using the default Mac character palette to insert that emoji.
I selection.
Get rid of all that.
Application.
It also allows you to search through your items library. This is actually something I have turned off for now because I need to actually clean up my items library a bit, and I generally don't use it that much. But what that allows you to do is, again, it sub-searches things by artist and then by album and then by track. And again, you can just, look for an artist, then hit right arrow, and you will get all the albums, but you can just do a sub-search which will look for both albums and tracks. And again, hitting right arrow on a track will give you statistics about the track, like the duration and whatever. Another thing you can do, actually, which is kind of
changing
useful,
the place to live, rich text document,
is on anything that you have, you can actually bring up a quick look window. Now, Spotlight already does this, but it does it automatically, and I have noticed that sometimes this can be a bit of a problem. For example, if you use a braille display, your focus will jump to that quick look window. Same thing with speech, or it might open, you want to look at it, and you're going to have to do a lot of interacting to stop interacting with the search field and go across to the quick look thing, and you can see it there. With LaunchBar, you can just hit Command Y or even the space bar, which is the standard OS X shortcut.
Quick look. Now in quick look window. Share file button. Text. Leakage October 11, 2015.
And we can preview this file, hit space bar, close that, we're back into the LaunchBar window. Another pretty useful built-in feature of LaunchBar is that it allows you to look at your clipboard history. So if you copy a lot, then you will sometimes want to return to something you've copied before. Clipboard history programs are actually pretty cool. I haven't really found anything that good on the Mac that would work. But LaunchBar, in addition to all the other things it does, actually also includes a clipboard history feature. So we're still in text edit, so let's say test 1.
Test 1.
Copy that,
test 1.
And then we say test 2.
Test new line. Test 2.
Copy
test 2.
that as well.
Test end of text.
And then we can combine those.
Test 1, test 2. Selected.
Copy that, and also for good measure, let's copy a file. I don't know what this readme is, but let's copy it.
Close window. Now in desktop.
You can bring up the clipboard history when you open the LaunchBar window with Command Space and then press Command K, or you have a dedicated global shortcut for this, which would be Command Option \.
Readme clipboard object. Test 1, test 2, clipboard object. Test 2, clipboard object. Test 1, clipboard
So I
object.
can just move between these. If I press enter one, then it's going to get copied to the actual clipboard. I can still, of course, press tab and send it somewhere if I want.
Changing the place to live.rtf, clipboard object. At conwater73 at karaoke.
We have tweets I have been interacting with. That's still in my clipboard history. You can configure how large it is. It starts, I think, with 5 or 10 items by default. You can make it larger or smaller if you so want. Right.
At conwater73.
Now let's get into some
Finder,
customization
Macintosh
aspects
HP
of LaunchBar. First thing you can do is you can install custom actions. You can do this from the LaunchBar website. They have a couple of examples. Actions will allow you to do a lot of various things. I have installed a couple. I want to show you a few of them. So one action I have installed is one that allows you to convert currency. So if I bring up LaunchBar and type in CURR,
Convert currency action.
it goes to the convert currency action. If I had right arrow on it, we get some more information about it.
Convert currency, LaunchBar, convert currency, text. Converts currency using currencylayer.com, text. An API key from currencylayer.com, free, text. Text, a string in this format, 84.55 USD to JPY, commas are fine, text. The converting currency and amount, text. 2.2.3, text. Custom actions, category, contains 8 items. Convert currency,
So
action.
we can press space or enter on this.
1.
And it opens an edit box which is pre-filled with the last thing I have to search for. Let's say convert this price of LaunchBar, which is $35, into euros.
Convert.
So 35 USD TO space EUR. Hit enter.
32.63 EUR, text.
And we get a result. We can down arrow for this.
Action, 35.00 USD, text. 1 USD equals 0.93240 EUR, text.
Get more
1
details.
USD equals 0.93240 EUR. 1 USD equals
Current exchange
0.93240 EUR,
rates
text.
and what have you. This left arrow.
1 USD
I
equals
also
0.9.
have a time in action. So if you have finished a search and you want to start a new one, you don't actually have to do anything. You can just start typing again. So I'm going to type in time.
35. 1 USD equals 0.93240
Okay,
EUR,
maybe you
text.
sometimes you have to press escape. Anyway,
1 USD equals
press escape. Now let's do a search
0.93240
for
EUR,
time.
text. Time in, action.
Time in. Again, I can press spacebar and I can type in a location.
Select.
Let's say, well, we had Tokyo in there before. Let's actually put it back. Can't think of anything more creative right now.
09:27 p.m. text.
It's 9:27. If we go down arrow,
Action Wednesday, November 11th, text. UTC plus 9, JST, text. 8 hours S ahead, text. 8 hours S ahead, text.
it tells us how far ahead or behind or whatever it might be that particular place is. If I do a search for a different type, or a different location, like let's do a search for Australia. Maybe.
Time in, action. 09:58 p.m. text. Action Wednesday, November 11th, text. UTC plus 9.5 ACST, text. 8.5 hours S ahead, text.
So once again, we can
8.5
actually
hours
see
ahead,
the
text.
exact how far away
8.5 hours
that
ahead.
location is
Finder,
from us. This is
desktop, Macintosh
all
HD
custom
volume.
plugin. There is more. I have a plugin which lets me view battery statistics like health and percentage and whatever else you might need. There is a plugin to get the current forecast or weather. There was a lot. There is one that lets you search DuckDuckGo inside, so you can actually browse the results in the LaunchBar window, which is quite convenient. There is a lot of stuff you can do with this. A lot of it comes with customization. You can add custom rules and actions to the program, and they will all work. So if we go back to the LaunchBar window,
Application, action menu button.
we have these two buttons that I haven't really touched at the moment, action menu and LaunchBar menu. We probably want to look at both.
8.5
So
hours.
the action menu allows us to interact with the currently selected item. For example, if I go back to having that
8.5 hours S changing the place to
rich
live,
text document, which has been our guinea pig for the last couple of minutes, I can open the action menu on this and it
Action
will
menu.
give us all the things we can do with a file.
Menu, 26 items. Open return.
So you can open it.
Send to ellipsis tab. Browse info option, right arrow. Show in Finder command. Press action menu. Show in Finder command. Return. Show in current Finder window. Command shift. Return. Copy file command C. Copy file contents command option C. Copy and paste file command shift C. Copy and paste file contents command shift options. Search file contents ellipsis command F. New folder ellipsis command shift N. New folder with selection ellipsis command control N. Rename ellipsis command shift R. Append text ellipsis command shift A. Prepend text ellipsis command shift P. Duplicate command shift D. Get info command I. Move to trash command delete. Quick look command Y. Slideshow command option Y. Open terminal here command T. Run terminal command here ellipsis command up. Run terminal command with ellipsis command shift T. Show an index command shift I. Assign abbreviation ellipsis command option A.
So abbreviations are if for some reason the abbreviation engine doesn't actually find something, or if it doesn't show at the top and you want it absolutely to be the first result, you can manually force an abbreviation onto a file,
Services.
and then
open return.
it will actually show up.
Closing menu. Action menu button.
There's a lot of other things you can do. Actually, I also realized you can open websites with this, and you can configure it if you wanted to open in the current tab that you have in Safari or Chrome or whatever, or if it should open a new tab, you can tell that it should prefer HTTPS addresses, and you do that by typing in dot and the address. It's very simple.
LaunchBar menu button.
But let's look at the LaunchBar menu.
Menu,
Suppose you
11
wanted to add a folder, because unlike Spotlight, LaunchBar by default doesn't really index all of your files. It indexes some
Press LaunchBar
things,
menu button.
like your downloads and your applications, but it's not going to index your whole computer. You can actually have it do that if you want.
About LaunchBar. Check for updates ellipsis. Preferences ellipsis command comma.
So we can look at the preferences here in a minute.
License ellipsis command option L. Usage ellipsis command option U. Action editor usage ellipsis command option U.
Usage is actually kind of a statistical thing. It shows you how long you've been using LaunchBar, how many times you opened it, how much time it has saved you, and also it allows you to view your superpowers, which is like, for example, you use the send to feature a lot, so you're now a combinator. It's really, really pointless, but it's there if you want it.
Action editor ellipsis command option E.
Action editor is really advanced stuff if you're a developer and you want to make your own action. For example, if someone wanted to make something that would go out to the AppleVis site and actually search specifically using AppleVis and actually return the results inside LaunchBar, then it could be a possibility.
Turn hiding off command shift H. Select submenu. Index submenu. Select submenu 9 items. Select from clipboard command shift V. Show running applications command R. Show recent items command B. Show clipboard history command K. Get finder selection command G. Drop finder selection command D. Search and spotlight ellipsis command shift F. Open location ellipsis command L. Calculator ellipsis command equal. Select from clipboard menu.
Yeah, you can also
select
calculate.
submenu.
See, there's a lot of stuff you can do with LaunchBar.
Index submenu. Index submenu 3 items. Show index command option I.
So the index is where you can go to configure what files and what have you want LaunchBar to index. Let's go in here for a minute. We're going to add an indexing rule for my Dropbox, and we're going to have a shortcut for the public folder, just so I can quickly send files in there for people. So let's go open the indexing editor.
Closing menu. LaunchBar menu button. Now in LaunchBar index. 32 rules window. Table. Row 2 of 41. Applications selected.
So this is a pretty simple window. You have two sets of tables.
Add indexing rule button. Delete rule action. Add table. Row 2 of 41.
So
Applications
first
selected.
you have the sidebar group, as it calls it, which has your categories and an add delete button. And if we stop interacting,
Stop in vertical splitter. Inspector group.
we have
Inspector
the
group.
inspector
Application.
group.
Application image. Index. Selected. Options. It includes all applications that are currently installed on your computer. You can limit the indexing to certain folders. Help button. Table. Row 1 of 132. Name.
can actually
Accessibility
see
inspector. Kind. Application.
the
Column 3 of 3.
contents.
Checkbox selected.
And you can uncheck any of these if you want them to not show up. This is actually how I turn the iTunes index
Image.
off.
Stop. Vertical. Indexing
I did
rules
it in
sidebar
here.
group. Add table.
But anyway.
Row 2 of 41. Categories. Preference panes.
Categories, preference
Network locations,
panes, network
user
locations.
accounts,
This is all the things that you
Themes,
can look for.
actions, expand actions, level, workflows, services, productivity, contacts, calendars, reminder lists, text, expanded, snippets, level 2, emoji, media libraries, expanded, 2 items enclosed.
Snippets
level
allow
1.
you to quickly insert pieces of text quickly. For example, the current date, you can have variables in them if you wish. Emoji we have already seen.
iTunes library, level iPhoto library, third-party apps, transmit favorites, web, expanded, Safari bookmarks, level 2, Safari reading list, Safari top sites, Safari iCloud tab,
This should
Safari
be
history, search
pretty
templates, UTF-8,
self-explanatory.
files and folder, doc, mounted volumes, development resources, iCloud Drive, tags, documents,
Documents is a custom we'll
lists,
have added.
expanded,
We're
Unix
going to
directories,
add one
level 2,
for
custom doc
the
tag, iCloud, mount doc, files and folders,
for
search
my
files and folders,
Dropbox.
stop, add indexing
So
rule
we
button.
add
New
indexing
indexing
rule.
rule. Menu. 12 items. Add folder ellipsis. System. Submit. Actions. Submit. Productive. Text. Media. Third-party apps. Web bookmarks. Web history. Press add index. Search templates. Files and folders.
So
Submenu.
this allows you to actually put it in a convenient
Files and
location.
folders. Submenu.
So
12 items. Doc. Dimmed.
Doc.
Mounted volumes. Dimmed.
mounted ones, these are all dimmed because they're
Development
already
resources.
added.
iCloud Drive. Dim. Tags. Dim. Home folders. Shared folders. Desktop. Documents. Dim. Music. Pictures. Movies. Doc. Dimmed. Mounted volumes.
If we want
dimmed.
to add a custom
Develop iCloud
folder,
tags.
which we
Custom
do,
lists. Add folder. System. Add folder
we go to
ellipsis.
add folder,
Closing menu. Add indexing rule button. Interact with open dialog scroll area.
and we're going to look for my Dropbox.
Desk Dropbox folder. The 9th of the table. Row 39 of 42. Dropbox. Selected.
So it has
documents.
actually put
tags,
it
iCloud
inside
Drive,
the
development resources.
files and folders subcategory, which is quite convenient.
Tab documents. Dropbox. Add
And we
delete
can
index rule
go
actions. Verticals. Inspector.
here.
Drop image. Drop index. Selected. Index is the help button. Table. Row 1 of 30,264. Name.
So as you can
Event
see,
text.tdm. Kind.
it kind of uses the Spotlight database to speed things up, but has already indexed all the 30,000
Image.
something
Table.
items
Row 1 of 30,200.
in my
image.
Dropbox.
Event text. Text. Kind. Document. Indexing rule. Dropbox.
And you can actually view the indexing progress. If you Command Option P, you can see where exactly it's looking. If you have a really large job you want to do,
Update indexing rule button.
you can actually do it. You can force an
30,264
update
items.
manually.
Get info. 30,264. Get info.
And
button. Get info.
yeah,
button.
it's pretty cool. But we're going to close this for now because we have done what we want.
Finder. Desktop. Macintosh HD.
Now if I
volume.
bring up LaunchBar again and do a search,
System
let's
has
do
new.
an abbreviation search for
Application.
DB, for Dropbox.
Deep Power Amp Music Converter application. Deep Power Amp Music Converters. Dev Bathroom.td. Dev Bathroom.td. Debookie application. Diving board. Diving board. Decode space 64. Set desktop background. Action. Convert with Deep Power Amp service.
So we're not seeing Dropbox, but we can actually add it. So if we go to
Dropbox.
if we search
Indexing rule
for
contains 59 items.
DRO for Dropbox, I can hit Command Option A,
Assign abbreviation. Edit text.
and it says assign abbreviation. We say DB.
Dropbox. Indexing rule contains 59 items. Drop key. Audio
Close
file.
that out
Finder.
for a
Desk-
minute, and we search for
Application.
DB
Action menu
again.
button. Dropbox. Indexing rule contains 59 items.
And as you can see, because we have assigned that abbreviation, it knows that should probably be at the top. We're going to assign another one for the public folder. So I go into
Accessible
hit
games
right
and
arrow.
tables folder contains 16 items.
We have all the different Dropbox photos in part. I'm going to say PU for public.
Community Feud folder contains 10. Community Feud folder. Public folder contains 178 items. One sub search match in total.
And we're going to hit again Command Option A to assign an abbreviation.
Public folder contains
We're going to say
178 items.
DPF for Dropbox public folder.
Public folder contains
There we
178
go.
items.
Now I can use that to quickly send files to it. So once again, our trusty RTF file.
Changing the place to live. Rich text document.
Found it. Hit tab to send.
Angelski.
Then we
folder.
say DPF.
Public folder contains
Enter.
178 items. Move to public action. Copy
Copy.
to public action. Changing the place to live. Rich text document.
And I have now moved that file. Someone should probably create an action which would do this and also immediately return a public link so you can actually send it on its way. So this is how you can really easily customize LaunchBar and add more locations to it. One thing I've kind of forgot to touch on, and this shows you how
Finder.
well organized I am when I'm doing podcasts, is what LaunchBar calls instant send. What instant send allows you to do is it gets the current selection and it immediately pre-fills it with in the LaunchBar search box. So if you were to hit instant send on a file that you're browsing in Finder, then you would end up on that file in LaunchBar. You could also do it on a piece of text or phone number inside of text and actually send it off to FaceTime, for example, to make a call. So
Applications. Now in applications window.
if
Listing table close
this is
window.
really stupid, I should
Application.
just do this in
Text edit.
LaunchBar,
Text edit. Untitled.rtf
because that's
window.
kind of what
Edit text
it's all
content selected.
about.
Test 1. Test 2. Test
suppose
1,
we
test
didn't
2.
actually know
End
what the
text.
word
New line.
test means.
Test. Test 1.
We can select the word test.
Test. Selected.
We have standard OSM selection keystrokes. Now instead of pressing Command Space to open LaunchBar, I'm going to press Command Space and hold it down for about a second.
Cop. Test. Text.
And we heard that little noise. It's now pre-filled that, and it says test text because it's nothing more than a piece of text. It has one line, couple, 4 characters, 1 word, no sentences, nothing, or maybe 1 sentence. We're gonna hit tab to send it.
Calendar.
We can send it to a calendar to add an event. There's a whole system of adding calendar and reminder events that allows you to set a reminder time, the priority, and other such things. Not using natural language, mind you, is using a parser, which actually can be quite convenient, especially for non-English languages, where the simple text parser of something like the calendar app or Fantastical, which does support multiple languages, but not all of them, this can actually be quite useful. We're going to send us to Wikipedia, though.
Call with iPhone. Action. Abbreviate with tilde and path. Wikipedia. Action.
There's a Wikipedia action. Here I press enter on it.
Text edit. Untitled.rtf window. Edit text.
It goes to Safari. Let's see what the page we're on.
Test. Wikipedia. The free encyclopedia window.
We're on the Wikipedia page for test, which
Test.
is what we
Wikipedia.
searched
Interact
for.
image. Test. Heading from Wikipedia. The free encyclopedia. This page is not a sandbox and should not be used for test editing. To experiment, please use so on. Wikipedia : sandbox. Wikipedia : sandbox.
I wonder what kind of things must have happened to this page if they had to put such a statement at the top. Probably nothing very good. Anyway, this just about covers the basics of LaunchBar.
Application. Action.
Using those things I have described just a second ago, you can actually do some very impressive things. But let's just finish this podcast really quick by looking at the
Action menu,
preferences.
LaunchBar menu,
And I'm going to point out some things you may want to do while you're there. So let's just press Command Comma to bring those up.
Preferences. Now in appearance window. Toolbar.
We'd start on the
button.
general page. This
Press
is
general,
a typical
selected
layout of a Mac preferences dialog, so there's nothing very unusual about it here.
Stop interacting with
And
toolbar.
let's look at what we have here.
General options. Automatically show in hide indexing progress. Uncheck checkbox.
This is pretty obvious. So if it happens to be updating the index, it will automatically open the indexing progress window.
Speak selected item. Unchecked checkbox.
Contrary to what you might think, you don't actually need this because it handles speaking through voiceover and brailing also very well on its own.
Play instant send sound effect. Checkbox.
As you heard earlier when I did the instant send, it made a little whoosh sound. So this controls if that happens or not. I would probably turn it on. It's more feedback. It's kind of useful.
Retype delay. 8%. Slider. 0.5. 1.0. 1.2.0. 2.5.
I'm not entirely sure what this does. I think it has to do when you, for example, have an emoji or a snippet and how long it waits for the focus to go back to the last application you were in.
3.0 seconds. Open location. Switch to open location when a dot character is entered. Always pop-up button.
That's for website addresses, for example.
Prefer secure URL schemes. Uncheck checkbox. Automatically prefix hostname with www. Checkbox. Default top level domain. .com. Content selected. Edit text.
So this is basically when you start typing, a lot of it will be pre-filled. So you could, for example, just hit dot and type in AppleVis, and at the beginning it will fill it in with HTTP. It'll also fill in www, and it'll put .com at the end. So when you just type in AppleVis, you would actually be able to go to the AppleVis website with just that.
Postal addresses. Mailing label personal prefix. Add content selected. Edit help button. Help button.
So we can bring
Toolbar.
up the help for
General.
any of these.
Select appearance
Next
button.
tab, appearance.
Press appearance. Select stop theme. Default pop-up button. Show result when searching. Immediately pop-up button. Show abbreviation. Checkbox. Show all subtitles. Uncheck checkbox. Show text input title. Uncheck checkbox. Automatically hide LaunchBar. Checkbox.
This is actually something that you may want to turn on. This will not be on by default. It doesn't matter if you have it set to just be a dock icon or not. Even if you don't, then when you actually use it, the window, the little bar at the top will stay on the screen. You'll be able to see it in the voiceover window chooser, but also sighted people will be able to see it, and it might obscure part of the screen. So don't be surprised if you're working with other people and they ask you what that thing is at the top, why that might happen. So I would probably turn this on because you can always just show it again with a hotkey.
Open on same display as frontmost window. Checkbox. Stepper. 7 visible rows while searching by abbreviation. 13 visible rows while browsing.
This is very much visual.
Help button. Help
Nothing
toolbar.
we can work.
Interact with toolbar.
Nothing we have to worry
General.
about.
Shortcuts button.
Shortcuts is keyboard shortcuts.
Press
So this is kind of
selected button.
worth looking
Stop
into.
keyboard shortcuts. Search in LaunchBar. Checkbox. Command space. Content selected. Edit text. Search in Spotlight. Checkbox. Option command space. Content select snippets. Uncheck checkbox. Control option command space. Dimmed. Calculator. Unclear. Dimmed text.
So there's no hotkey assigned for that.
Modifier tabs. Search in LaunchBar. Off. Pop-up button. Instant send. Off. Pop-up button.
Modifier tabs allows you to bring up LaunchBar or instant send just like dictation. So by pressing Control twice, for example, you will be able to open LaunchBar that way.
Browsing. Alternative arrow keys. Control HJKL. Pop-up button. Instant info browsing. Uncheck checkbox. Allows to trigger info browsing by pressing and holding the right arrow key. Quitting LaunchBar. Quit LaunchBar with option command Q. Uncheck checkbox. Help button. Toolbar.
These are
Interact with
all
general. Shortcuts.
shortcut
Selected
keys.
actions button.
Actions.
Press action. Stop it. Default actions. Selected tab. 1 of 2. Options. Tab. 2 of 2.
This allows you to do configure what should happen for certain types of files when you press enter on them.
Instant open folders. Open. Pop-up button. Apple scripts. Run. Pop-up button.
So instead of running, you could actually also have them just open inside of a script editor.
Automator workflows. Run. Pop-up button. Search templates. Enter text. Pop-up button. Contacts. Open contact. Pop-up button. AIM buddies. Open with messages. Pop-up button. Phone numbers. Call with iPhone. Pop-up button. Run phone script in background. Uncheck checkbox. Help button.
Next tab.
Toolbar. Interact with toolbar. Update. Advance. Click calculator button. Actions. Calculator button. Press stop keyboard shortcut. Clear. Dimmed text. Switch to calculator when typing digits. Uncheck checkbox. Switch to calculator when typing equals. Uncheck checkbox. Switch to calculator when pasting a numeric expression. Check checkbox. Smart brackets. Check checkbox. Instant calculate. Check trigonometry mode. Degree. Pop-up button. Help button. Toolbar.
So it has a
Interact with
very
toolbar.
powerful
Clipboard. Update
calculator
button.
as
Clipboard.
well.
Clipboard button. Press clipboard.
This allows you to
Selected button.
configure the clipboard
Stop
history.
interacting. Enable clipboard history. Checkbox. Capacity. 20 items. Pop-up button. Clear history button. Action. Copy and paste. Pop-up button. As plain text. Uncheck check. Ignored applications. Uncheck check. Edit button.
So this allows you to have some applications not actually show up in the clipboard history if you want.
Preserve history across restart. Checkbox. Enable clip merge. Uncheck checkbox. Press Command C twice to merge the copied data with the current clipboard contents.
This is pretty self-explanatory, kind of useful.
Keyboard shortcuts. Show clipboard history. Checked. Option command backslash. Select from history. Checked. Command backslash. Paste and remove from history. Checked. Control option command V. Contact help button. Help toolbar. Update button.
Updates is just allows you to do update checks.
Advanced button.
Advanced.
Press advanced. Select it. Stop it. Drag and drop.
There's one thing in particular here that you should probably look at.
Drop onto application. Ask. Pop. Drop onto folder. Ask. Working with files. Abbreviate home folder in copied file paths with tilde sign tilde. Uncheck. Check. Convert file name extension to lowercase when renaming a file. Uncheck. Check. Append English file name if different from localized name. Uncheck. Check. Dot icon. Show dot icon. Uncheck. Checkbox.
If you check this, and it will be checked by default, then you're going to see LaunchBar appear on the dock and also when you do Command Tab. For someone who uses only the keyboard, for the most part, I would suggest you turn this off just to unclutter your command tablets, because I'm sure you already have other things like Skype in there that you may not actually want, but you can't really get rid of easily. So this is one thing you can actually get out of the way, because you're generally going to be bringing it up with the LaunchBar hotkey, not so much command tabbing.
Help button.
So that's pretty much all in here, and
Safari.
let's close that out. Close that.
Text edit. Untitled.
This is a good time to, I think,
Amadeus Pro.
wrap this up. I haven't actually purchased LaunchBar yet, but I'm definitely going to, because I think it's a really, really good program. It allows you to do a lot. It is different from Spotlight. It's kind of built for a slightly different purpose, and it's pretty accessible. I'm really happy with how much work went into making it accessible. It was actually part of the the massive AppleVis birthday giveaway a while ago. Yeah, I would definitely pick this up. I hope this podcast was helpful. If you're new to LaunchBar, maybe you've learned how to do some stuff with it. If you're considering getting LaunchBar and you were wondering if it's worth it, then hopefully this will allow you to clear it up. If you have any more questions, you can just ask me on AppleVis. I have a profile on here, so you can just send me a private message. If you want to tweet me, you can also do that at PITERMACH. My email address is also just like my Twitter name, with @gmail.com at the end of it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and I hope to talk to you some other time.
This podcast has been brought to you by the community of AppleVis. For the latest in resources and tips and tricks to help you get the best experience from your Apple device, visit us online at www.applevis.com.